about to go down.
It's lovely pass, and here he turns cleverly. Can he find a finish? Oh, he can!
Skilled by Joshua, and a return right hand. Good counter right. Bullen is hurt. Second right hand. That clipped him as well. Now he goes in for the kill.
Well, Ricciardo is inching into the lead, and Ricciardo that win the Italian Grand Prix!
Iguodala running the floor.
Still leading the way with Canada in there too, with the Netherlands.
And Musa makes it 4 goals in 2 World Cup matches.
The Monaco Grand Prix! Ricciardo triumphant in Monza.
Through Bowden, Barrett, and an early touch and an excellent...
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Hello, viewers out there. You're welcome to Sports Orbit. This is the Friday episode of Sports Orbit, reaching you from Leadership TV. My name is Afa Acho, and on Sports Orbit today, I have plenty of interesting and exciting stories to give you. Of course, there is the WAFCON. We have some basketball news, some boxing, and of course, some tennis news, as well as some juicy transfer news also as it comes. Well, we'll begin straight from the home front, where the Minister of Youth and Sports, Sunday Dare, is set to receive the Football Development Master Plans Committee report. The 10-year Football Development Master Plan Committee, set up by the presidency to redesign football development in Nigeria, will on June 29, 2022, submit its report to the Minister of Youth and Sport, Chief Sunday Dare, in his office in Abuja. The 10-year Football Development Master Plan Committee, led by renowned sports administrator Ibrahim Galadima, was inaugurated late last year to map out a 10-year development plan for Nigerian football. He said they have done a fantastic job, and the Honorable Minister is quite satisfied with what they have done and has now fixed a date for formal handing over of the report. The committee will wind down with the handing over of the report. Chief of Staff to the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, Abayola, told journalists on the stories making the round that the committee demanded 100 million naira to complete the assignment. Alhaji Abayola countered. He said, "There's no truth in those stories. The committee never made such demand. The delay in handing over was as a result of the Honorable Minister's tight schedule." Other members of the 10-year development plan include Chief Segun Odegbami, Sunday Olise, Mr. Yemi Idowo, Dr. Bode Durotoye, Honorable Ayo Omidiron, Mr. Musa Amadu, and Sheyi Akinwumi. Others are Emmanuel Babayaro, Tony Nacheta, Ikedi Isiguzo, Ade Ojekere, Augustine Ojiabo, and John Opubo. Recall that since this committee was set up by Minister of Youth and Sports Sunday Dare last year, lots of questions have been raised because months after this committee was set up, much was not heard from the committee. But finally, the committee is going to submit their report to the Honorable Minister next week. I hope once that report is made known, we sport lovers, fans, and reporters alike will see a clear roadmap for Nigerian football as it rolls in the years ahead. Now, away from that, to the Women African Cup of Nations 2022, where the Confederation of African Football has appointed 2 Nigerian referees, that is Patience Madu and Mimisen Yohe Calvin Onwuka. They've been named by CAF to officiate in next month's Women African Cup of Nations, WAFCON, scheduled to take place in Morocco. A list of 40 match officials, including 16 center referees, 16 assistant referees, and 8 video assistant referees, have been exclusively made available to leadership. On the list are Madu, who was the 4th official at the Tokyo Olympics last year, as well as Yohe Calvin Onwuka, who is one of the assistant referees on FIFA Women's World Cup list. Madu and Calvin were also among the 32 match officials that officiated at the last edition of WAFCON held in Ghana in 2018 and will now officiate the competition built to start in Rabat, Morocco on the 2nd of July 2022. Both referees also officiate in the top flight of the NPFL and also officiated at the inaugural CAF Women's Champions League held in Cairo, Egypt last year. The duo will not be the only Nigerian flag bearers at the tournament with the women's national team. Super Falcons pitched in Group C alongside South Africa, Burundi, and Botswana as they bid to defend the title they won in Accra in 2018. The 14th edition of the Women AFCON will serve as qualifiers for next year's FIFA Women's World Cup to be co-hosted by Australia and New Zealand starting from July 20th. Well, a lot has been said in recent times about the inability of Nigerian referees to officiate at CAF and FIFA graded tournaments. But here, I think the women are leading the way. For Yohei, she had officiated at the Tokyo Games, and she's also on the short list for the Women's World Cup. This is only hoping that even when it comes to officiating for male referees, also that we hope that in the years to come and seasons to come, that will also see male referees, officiating in CAF and FIFA graded competitions. Well, we wish these two ladies well as they go all out to represent Nigeria out there at the WAFCON 2022 in Morocco. Away from that now to the NPFL fixtures. The NPFL is gradually drawing to a close, and this week will be match week 34, and we have some interesting and mouth-watering fixtures to look out for as we get into this weekend proper. For Abia Warriors, they will be at home to Kano Pillars, while Akwa United champions will travel. Well, that's actually a derby. Will guest of Dakada FC in that one. Enugu Rangers will host league leaders Rivers United, while Heartland FC will be at home to visiting Katsina United. Sunshine Stars of Akure will make the short trip to Ilorin to face Kwara United, while MFM will welcome Eimba. In the other match, it will be a North Central derby as Niger Tornadoes welcome Nasra United, while Gombe United will also travel to Jos to face Plateau United, take the short trip actually to Plateau United to face Plateau United, who are currently second on the log. Well, Remo Stars will be welcoming Lobby Stars of Makodi in that one, while Wiki Tourists of Bauchi will be host to Shooting Stars of Ibadan in that one. Well, interesting matches to look out for. Rivers United already, as it stands, they already have one hand on the title already. So if they are able to get all 3 points in this one, at least they'll just be needing 2 more matches to, once they win 2 more matches, I think they'll be home and dry and they'll be on their way to winning their first league title. For Kano Pillars, they will face an uphill task as they travel to the southeast to play against Abia Warriors. Kano Pillars last week did well to return to winning ways in their last encounter. Well, for Akwa United and Takada, that is actually the Uyo derby, and that match will be an interesting one, and we'll look forward to that one. Enugu Rangers will have their hands full as they welcome Rivers United. Another interesting encounter will also be MFM, who will be welcoming Imba, who have been doing well so far, currently number 4, right behind Rangers of Enugu in that one. Well, for the Northwest Derby, Niger Tornadoes of Mina will welcome Nasra United in that one. Well, a whole lot of interesting matches. Then for Remo Stars, they will be hoping to continue in their winning form as they welcome Lobby Stars. Lobby Stars just escaped above the relegation zone, but will be hoping to continue to swim far above relegation waters in that match against Remo Stars. So interesting matches to look forward to this weekend as the NPFL gradually draws to a close. Well, away from that now to some bit of some transfer news where Ayimba forward Victor Mbauma has agreed to join Algerian side Mouloudia Club de Algiers. The star will link up with the club at the end of the Nigerian Professional League season. Mboma is currently the second joint top scorer in the NPFL with 15 goals, while Rivers United forward Chijoke Akuneto sit at the top of the goals chart with 16 goals. Recall that Mboma scored a hat-trick in Enyimba 3-0 win against Kwara United last weekend, while Akuneto responded with a brace in his club had 4-1 home victory against Abia Warriors. The striker was previously on the books of Remo Stars and Aqua United. He was recently also invited for the Super Eagles tour of the United States, where he featured against Mexico and Ecuador. For the match against Mexico, he featured in that game and also featured as a substitute in the 2-1 defeat against Ecuador. Good one for the young man. He's been on fire all season, sharing the goal scorers chart, top goal scorer chart, and hoping that at the end of the season he might emerge as the Golden Boot winner. But of course, he has stiff competition to face from the Rivers United striker also. Well, this is a good move for him, hoping that this will only be a stepping stone to bigger things. Usually for a lot of Nigerian players in time past have always followed the route through North Africa to Europe. Well, going to a league in Algeria, in my opinion, the league is more organized. The clubs have a quality facility. So I think that will be a great step upward for the young man to at least get his career going and really prepare him, because the dream of most Nigerian players definitely a lot of times is to eventually end up playing in one of the top sides in Europe. So for Mboma, I think this is a step in the right direction, and this is hoping that he will do well to represent Nigeria well. And of course, for the fact that he was even given a national team call-up, that is a plus to him. Recall that, like I said earlier, he featured in that match against Mexico where the Super Eagles lost 2-1, and also came in as a substitute when the Eagles also played Mexico. And of course, last week in March, week 33, Rivers United versus Abia Warriors, it was a hard-fought game. Rivers United had to come back twice to win, to get all 3 points. By doing that, had to extend their lead at the top of the table to 10 points. Recall that Abia Warriors actually went ahead in that match, but it took 2 goals from Victor Mboma to actually give Rivers United all 3 points in that one. So good one. The young man has been on fire all season. And also another player who, like I mentioned earlier, who has been doing so well too is Rivers United Chijoke Akuneto. For Mboma, he's with Enyimba and he's making the move. He's hoping that the likes of Chijoke Akuneto will also, I'm sure, will be likely follow the lead of Mboma to seek for greener pastures outside. Well, good times for a lot of players in the NPFL as they try to make their case known on the international stage as it stands. Well, at this point, we'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, Sport Orbit continues. Don't go nowhere.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word. sponsorship, and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Welcome back from that short break. You're still on to Sports Orbit, reaching you from Leadership TV. Still on to some more transfer news where former Man United midfielder Juan Mata has received a massive offer from Saudi Arabia club Al Hilal. The 34-year-old has been released by Manchester United with his contract set to expire at the end of the month. According to a Spanish publication, Al Hilal have offered Mata a deal worth 10 million euros a year to move to Saudi Arabia. However, the veteran midfielder has rejected along with offers from Turkey in recent days. Instead, Mata sees himself returning to Spain next season, where he has interest from Sevilla, Real Betis, and Real Sociedad. I recall that Mata has been at United for the last, I think, 8-9 years, but as it stands, United released a couple of, I think, about 8 players, which Mata has been one of them, who was released by the Old Trafford outfit. Well, for now, recall that Odion Igalo of Nigeria also plays for Al Hilal, so should he be making that move, he will play alongside Odion Igalo right there at Al Hilal. But as it stands, Mata is yet to receive the offer. According to his representatives, he will prefer to go back to Spain, where, like we said, Sevilla, Real Betis, and Real Sociedad. We recall that he came in from Spain, where he had joined Chelsea. Back then, under Jose Mourinho, had a fantastic season for Chelsea. In fact, at that point, he was Chelsea's Player of the Year for 2 seasons running in a row, and under David Moyes made the switch to United. But his move to United has not been as successful as some may want to make it sound. But he's been able to win the Europa Cup at United, won the FA Cup, and of course also won the Carabao Cup. Recall that at Chelsea, he also won the Champions League and 2 EPL titles while he was at the other side, the blue side of London. Well, we wish Igalo well as Mata well as he goes about sorting out his future, whether it's Saudi Arabia, will it be Spain? Well, we'll keep you updated on this program wherever he ends up to continue his playing career. Recall that he's 34, and of course, he still has a couple of years to show what he knows how to do best. Of course, to another big transfer news that just broken this afternoon is the news involving Sadio Mane. Recall Sadio Mane, the prolific Liverpool forward, has finally agreed to join Bayern Munich. Actually, this afternoon report reaching us says that Liverpool and Bayern Munich have agreed a £35 million deal for the signing of Sadio Mane. The Reds will receive a fixed fee of 27.4 million pounds with a further 7.7 million pounds in add-ons. From the add-ons, Liverpool will pocket 5.1 million pounds based on appearances, with the remaining 2.6 million pounds based on individual and team achievements. The fee eclipses what the Reds paid Southampton for the forward back in 2016, with that deal proving to be worth 31 million pounds with a further 2.5 million pounds in add-ons. Liverpool had already rejected 2 offers from the Bavarians for the 30-year-old who is out of contract at Anfield next summer, with opening bid worth 25 million euros plus 5 million euros add-on, which were all based on individual and team achievements. Meanwhile, their second offer was a 30 million pound package worth only an initial 23.5 million pounds, with Liverpool only standing to bank the full total if Bayern won the Champions League in all 3 of the seasons they want to sign up for, as well as the player winning the Ballon d'Or for 3 consecutive years. Mane will now leave the Reds after 6 seasons at Anfield, having scored 120 goals in 269 appearances and won the Premier League, Champions League, FIFA Club World Cup, European Super Cup, FA Cup, and League Cup along the way. So finally, I first started as a rumor at the end of the season that Liverpool were ready to offload Sadio Mane. As Also, the forward also was actually pushing for a move, but initially Bayern, who are also foreseeing the departure of Lewandowski, also had penciled down Mane as someone who will be the perfect replacement for Lewandowski. And for Liverpool, don't forget that just early this week also completed signing of Darwin Núñez, and clearly that showed that Liverpool were ready to to part ways with Sadio Mane. With Núñez coming in, likely was more like a replacement for Sadio Mane. But the question a lot of pundits have been asking is, would Liverpool miss the services of Sadio Mane? Because looking at Liverpool in the last couple of seasons, for me, I think he's even been more prolific in front of goal than even Salah. Because a lot of times, Sadio Mane has rescued Liverpool time and time again when it seemed like Liverpool were not going to, record a victory in some of their very difficult encounters. But Mane has always been the man to step up and get the deal done. Well, let's hope that Núñez is also coming with a high profile, did well for Benfica last season, scoring about, I think, 32 goals in all competitions. But some have said, he's not a Premier League tested yet. But the young man is just 22 years old, and recall that in that Champions League encounter against Liverpool, he did very well, and that's why he actually caught the eye of Jurgen Klopp, who actually pushed for the transfer of Núñez to Liverpool. So once the season begins, which is just about roughly a month away, we'll see what Núñez has to offer. We'll see if he can perfectly fill into the shoes of Sadio Mane as Liverpool aims to, also put up an impressive showing in the 2022-2023 season. Now, away from that, now to tennis, where Serena Williams is set for a return at Wimbledon. The 7-time Wimbledon champion, who has also won 23 Grand Slam, has received a wildcard entry into the summer's Grass Court Classic. Williams had indicated that she was planning to compete. Williams, who is now 40 years old, shared the news via an Instagram post accompanied by a photo of her Nike-clad feet on grass, which read SW and SW19. It's a date, 2022. See you there, end of quote. SW19 is the postcode for the village of Wimbledon, which is southwest of London. Williams hasn't competed since she slipped and injured the leg during Wimbledon's first round last year, which sent her limping off center court in tears. A hand over her heart as the crowd stood in tribute. During her hiatus from the sport, her ranking has plunged to 1,208. Can you imagine that? Well outside the cutoff for automatic entry to the Grand Slam singles event. She could have entered Wimbledon using a protected ranking that afforded players sidelined by long-term injury, but chose not to. Instead, the All England club announced her wildcard entry. So that's a good one for Williams. I mean, she has been out of action for quite a while now. It will be good to see her return to the court at 40 years of age to see if she can get yet another Grand Slam to add to her already 23 Grand Slam titles. Okay, to our final story before we call it a day on today's episode of Sports Orbit, that's talking about boxing, where for the upcoming fight between Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk, Tyson Fury has said that unless he coaches Anthony Joshua, Joshua stands no chance against Usyk. Funny if you ask me. The world heavy champion Usyk beat Joshua in front of a sellout crowd in London last September to claim the WBO, IBF, and WO belts. Joshua is set for a rematch with Usyk this August, and the Briton has recruited Garcia to work alongside Angel Fernandez, while the 32-year-old long-time trainer Rob McCracken has stepped away from the camp. Tyson Fury said, unless Anthony Joshua gets up to more camp and lets me train him for this fight, Robert Garcia and 10 men like him will not make him beat Usyk, Fury said in an interview on Queensberry Promotion. Because 1, they don't know him. 2, they don't know what he's got in his engine. And 3, he's not a little Mexican who can go toe-to-toe with someone for 15 rounds. If he gets on Usyk from round 1 and tries to push and be aggressive, he'll be gassed out after 4 rounds and get stopped in 7. But if he comes to Morecambe Bay and I teach him how to be a real fighting man for 12 rounds and how to deal with these little middleweight people, then he will get a win. But other than that, I see him getting beaten again. 2 in a row, baby, and it's over. But if he wants to resurrect his career, please come up to the man who's never lost a fight in his life, being undefeated for 13 years and retired as only the second heavyweight in history to be on top of the game. Won every belt in history there is to win. Well, it's left to be seen if Joshua will take that call from Tyson Fury. Well, Tyson Fury claims he has the magic wand. He knows what it takes. He knows Joshua better than all of these new trainers Joshua has recruited to fight Usyk in their rematch. Well, for Fury, he feels except Joshua allows him take the reins by the ringside as his coach, Joshua stands no chance against Usyk. Well, we'll get to see about that as this fight comes up later during the year. I think in July, I guess, when this fight will come up. Well, I hope Joshua gets to prove Tyson Fury wrong, because if Joshua loses this fight, well, Fury will say, well, I told you, I said you have to come to me to coach him, but since you didn't do that, now you have lost. Well, as speaking from the Nigerian angle, we hope that Joshua will go all the way out and win this rematch against Usyk and at least stand the chance of reclaiming all his belts he lost in that fight in September. Well, with that boxing story, we have come to the end of today's episode of Sports Orbit, the last episode for the week. But not to worry, on Monday we'll come with another fresher, bigger and more exciting package of this program. Well, during the weekend, a lot of sporting activities will be going down. There's the NPFL, a lot of stories. Not to forget that the Golden State Warriors actually are champions for the 4th time again, defeating Ume Udoka's Bolton Celtics in Game 6 of the NBA Finals. So for Steph Curry, that's a 4th ring, just one more ring for him to equal the likes of King James and Michael Jordan, who actually won 6 rings. But congratulations to Steph Curry on winning his 4th NBA ring, and of course he was also named MVP of the series. So big congrats to the Golden State Warriors, although I was rooting for the Celtics, of course, who also have a Nigerian coach in Ume Udoka. But I'm sure the Celtics will come back bigger and better next season to see if they can win another NBA title. Well, that's where we'll call it a day on today's episode of Sports Orbit. Stay safe out there. I remain your host, Alpha Cho. Be good out there. Have a lovely weekend, and it's bye-bye from here.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.